Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Words with Dawn Thomson. Now, as you know, these are just conversations that I have with ordinary people because we're all special and we've all got a story to tell. And our words will give us a little bit of an insight into what we've been going through, what we're celebrating, or maybe just the way that we process things. And I love having chats like this with so many different people. And today, my lovely guest is Amanda Gillespie from The Empowered Entrepreneur. How are you, darling?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on. I'm super excited.
Oh, do you know what? I'm just so looking forward to this conversation, particularly as you haven't given me a steer as to what your word is. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you
Oh,
come
it's
up
keeping you in
with.
suspense.
Well, keeping me in my suspenders. Um, so yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to hearing about it. And can you tell us a little bit about you and what you do? Because I work people with Amanda, and she is my VA, and she just keeps my business going and does all the stuff that I find really, really difficult. She does it with ease and aplomb, and she's got loads of little strings to her bow. Um, so yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your business and you as a person?
Yeah, so my business, I started it in March 2024 after having a history of doing admin for working for people and decided that, because to give a bit of backstory, I previously had a photography business, but I was doing wedding photography and I've got two 8-year-olds, which at the time were like two 6-year-olds. And I didn't really want to be going out doing weddings all the time at the weekends. I wasn't getting time with them. Yeah, photography is quite lucrative, but no point having money if you've not got time with your family. So, hence deciding, no, I still want to be in business. So decided, why am I not using my skills? I'm trained in admin. I've got a degree for Abertay University. I've been doing it all my life.
Mhm.
So started the business up and it's kind of evolved. It started as just doing admin for people. Then it started, we'll add in social media and it's just grown from there. Last year had a bit of a rebrand, just a bit of a change in the business. My ex-partner stepped out the business because we broke up in our personal life, so it was too hard to continue working together. And at
Mhm.
that point, just felt like the right time for a total rebrand.
Absolutely.
That's where the Empowered Entrepreneur came from, and from there, it's now admin support, basic bookkeeping, social media support. I host networking events. I'm going to be starting to do training, online training and possibly face-to-face training for people just to help them get more organized and learn the skills to get that way. So yeah, it's growing and I've got my own podcast as well.
So exciting. But one of the things that I really found interesting when I first met you was that you were about helping people with neurodivergence.
Yes. Yeah, I should have said that in there. Yeah, so specializing in helping business owners who are neurodivergent, just because where that came from is both my children are neurodiverse. My son has ADHD, possibly dyslexia, and then my daughter is on the waiting list to be diagnosed with autism.
Mhm.
So I'm not diagnosed myself, but through doing all the testings, I have seen stuff. Personally, if I'm diagnosing myself, I'd probably say ADHD with touches of autism in there.
Mhm.
Um, but again, not diagnosed yet. But I might look into getting that just for myself to know, you know.
How many people I know whose kids have gone through the testing have actually gone, oh, that sounds really like me as
Yeah, well, I
well.
think I can't remember what the percentage is, but if your children are, I can't remember the percentage, but there is a certain percent that you or the other parent will be,
Yeah,
or it's somewhere in the family. So,
makes total sense.
yeah, so it is something I might look into just to understand myself a bit more.
For sure.
Um,
The
yeah,
more you know about yourself, the more options you've got.
yeah. So
And
no, that's where that specialization comes from. Just because I live with it, I understand it a bit more. I'm a bit more, oh, from what people have told me, I'm a bit more patient, empathetic towards it. We've even had people say, oh, like I've spoke to other VAs and I've felt like I'm going to be a pain, but I'm like, well, no, like that's like some of your best clients because they need help with the organization.
right.
So,
And isn't it true that 1 in 4 children or 1 in 4 people are dyslexic,
mhm.
but 75% of the most successful people are dyslexic?
Yeah,
So
yep,
they really need that support.
they do.
You know,
Um,
and whilst I've not had an ADHD diagnosis, although I can, the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, yeah, get that one. Um, I'm a highly sensitive person,
mhm.
and that is another thing that's not really spoken about very much. Being
Yeah,
an HSP is something that makes you process differently and work differently as well, which is where someone like you really does, you know, come
yeah,
into your own power, understanding that and the compassion that you have.
yeah, yeah. So that's where all that came from, and obviously I help clients that aren't neurodiverse. Neurotypical is it's the right term. Um, Not that I think anyone's completely neurotypical, if I'm being honest.
Well, do you know what? I love these words like typical and things. We should be talking about typical because
I know.
there's no such thing as typical.
No.
This whole categorizing people in like, oh, this person's like this. They're
Yeah,
genuinely not. But
yeah, we're all individual. We've all got our own ways of working, our own quirks, lots of different things. Like,
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. The one thing that joins us all together is the fact that we're all really different.
yeah.
One thing,
And
really
why
different.
would you want to be the same as someone else?
And we've spent so long, haven't we, as a society, conforming or having people conform or making them be the same. And actually, that's where all the stress and trauma that I see in my business, and you probably see it in yours, comes from. This
Yeah,
stress feeling that you've got to conform and be like this next person or that next person or look
yeah.
like this person or be like, no.
Yeah, and it's the same with the school system. It's not set up for people working differently.
Yeah, 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 you can't control that. Or people think you can't control that. But
Hmm.
why should you? That brings us into a whole other
I
whole
know.
topic, another episode. Typical control, conforming. Oh, it's just it's anti
Yeah,
human spirit,
yeah.
really, isn't it? Um, but yeah, I'm interested then, based on all these words that we could be talking about. What what word do you have for us
You
today,
might be totally
Amanda?
disappointed because the word isn't actually that, like, it's not that fancy a word.
Don't judge the words. All words have got power. But haven't they? All words have
Yeah,
got
no, they
power.
absolutely do. They absolutely do. So, no, my word is enough.
Ooh. What are you talking about? That's not a big fancy word. Enough is a huge word.
Yeah.
Tell me what made you pick that word.
So, a number of reasons.
Mm,
There's the positives and the negatives from it as well. So, the positives would be, well, I'll start with the negatives actually, because then it shows why I think for the positives.
okay.
I've come from having been bullied at school, not like physical bullying, but more mental bullying, not feeling good enough, getting called fat, getting called, numerous things. Then going into so many relationships where every single one of them has cheated on me. So you just end up feeling not good enough. So
Yeah.
that has been such a big word in my life.
Yeah.
Um, Even for things like when I was growing up, I always wanted to impress my parents, and if I'd done something that wasn't quite what I would think is going to impress them, I'd be so hard on myself, even though they were still always really proud of me, you know. But I'd be really hard on myself because it was like, no, must impress my mum and dad. So like just all that. pressure you put on yourself to not be feeling good enough. So
Mhm.
that's where the negative side of it's all kind of stemmed from with that word. But then the positives now being where I've started to learn, no, I am good enough. It's not me that's been the problem. Maybe sometimes, I'm not saying like I'm definitely not perfect, but I don't deserve like the treatment that I've had, you know. So
No.
I am good enough. I do deserve to be loved and, you know, I am enough for the right person.
And do you feel that that feeling of not good enough showed up mostly because in your love relationships, because you were cheated on and things like that? Is that where you saw that feeling of not good enough?
Yeah, I mean, when you're first cheated on when you're maybe a teenager, it doesn't really have a massive effect on you, or you don't notice the effect on you maybe.
Mhm.
But the more it keeps happening to you, the more it has an effect on your confidence. And you just, like, eventually, like, well, you'll know yourself because I've spoke to you about things, but I have felt broken, like, and no one should feel that way. But
No,
yeah, it definitely affects each relationship because the more it happens to you, the more you carry it into the next relationship. And
absolutely.
then the poor next person is like fighting against what's went on in our previous relationship. So it's also trying to learn not to bring it all in. Obviously, like my new partner, he's aware of how I've been made to feel, and he's sympathetic towards it. He's got all that empathy there for it. He's very patient with it. He's very reassuring. But I also try not to put my then trust issues from there onto him.
Yes.
So, because he's not done anything to spoil that trust.
No. But what I love about this is that he seems to be aware that you have trust issues and is able to hold that space for you
Yeah.
to work through those trust issues that you have.
Yeah, I think me and him are quite similar. I'm
Mm,
sure he won't mind me saying a little bit, but he's had similar treatment in relationships.
right.
So I think that also might be the slight difference this time, is that we've
Yep.
both been hurt and
Hmm.
been made to feel not good enough.
So
So,
what was you know, the film Jerry Maguire with Tom Cruise when I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
no.
he says he plays a sports agent and
Okay.
feels really pressurized and he leaves and everyone's like, is it a breakdown? And he goes, he's standing there and he's like, breakdown, breakthrough, breakdown, breakthrough. And he's not sure which one it is. And it's like, what do you feel has moved you from that feeling, that place of not good enough to that place of enough then?
Um, well, I have worked with a mind management coach before,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that has helped because I was
Therapy
able
has
to,
its place for sure.
it has helped to reframe things in my head.
Right.
And I think it's almost starting to like not put as much weight onto other people's thoughts as well.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
like, yeah, they'll have their opinions, but I don't need to worry about them all the time. If it's someone whose opinion matters, then yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, but it's true what they say, isn't it? That other people's opinions are none of our business.
Yeah, but I've always put a lot of weight onto it. And it's always made, and it does have that effect to making you not feel good enough because like you're like, what will they think of that? Will that be like, will they take offense to that? Will,
Yeah.
especially in this day and age where people are taking offense to
Everything.
anything you say. I mean, there's probably someone going to be offended by what I've just said.
Yes, there will be. And, for sure, there'll be some, because
Mhm.
although that said, will they be offended by what you've just said? Because I feel that my tribe is fairly well established. So if someone is sorry, listeners, but if you are offended by anything that Amanda has just said, you're possibly in the wrong tribe, or you maybe have to sit and listen a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Because I think people are so quick to make a judgment and a snap decision now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not got always the full picture or context.
No. And I think it goes back to a little bit to what you were saying about your work, and in fact, my work as well, is that, a lot of our work is listening and responding with compassion to what people's needs are
Hmm.
and understanding that an opinion is an opinion, but it can be a light opinion. You don't, like you say, you don't have to take it on board
Hmm.
at all.
Yeah.
It's just showing, they're essentially showing their map of the world to you. And it could be like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not the world I want to inhabit. Thanks. But anyway.
But yeah, it's amazing how you can just, through putting weight onto people's opinions, feel not good enough or feel like, oh, that like someone won't like that. And then like there's been times I would have changed things in my business because one person was like, no, that's too expensive.
Yep.
And I would have changed my whole pricing structure.
And it's that thing, isn't it, about, nine people are saying you're great. And that
Yeah.
one person that says it's not so great is the one that
Yeah.
is in.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely that word is pretty prominent in my life, particularly from everything that I went through. And then even now, like even what I was saying about the kids, last night sitting reading with Nathaniel and he was struggling with his reading probably because of the potential dyslexia. And in my head, I'm like, oh, he's going to start not feeling good enough when he's getting this wrong all the time. And it's not his fault. So, I mean, I've reached out and looked for some reading tutors for him to give him some extra support
Yeah.
because that's all I can do as a parent. I don't know how else to help him because I sit and read with him, but you know, uh,
And I think the thing is, one of the NLP presuppositions that I learned when I first started training, and it's been so helpful for me with my kids, is that there's no failure, only feedback.
hmm.
So you take it away from, you move it away from the identity to
Yeah,
like behavior or capability.
yeah. Well, that's one of the things that I've learned through the way I am when I'm in a relationship.
Mm,
So even with friendships or my family relationships, if
mm,
someone says something that I perceive as a criticism, which like I will take it to heart, like I'm probably maybe similar to yourself in that, like I will take a lot of things to heart. Um, so if someone does that to me, I'll go straight on the defensive. Whereas now I've learned to communicate how I perceive it.
you all right?
So like to my partner, I'll say, don't come in at me with like if I have like maybe spelt something wrong or I've done like don't come in at me with you've done this wrong
Mm-hmm.
because that's then when I'm going, oh, I'm being criticized.
Yeah.
And then I get a bit defensive with it. So
And it's the wording again, isn't it?
yeah,
It's
it's a
how it's
different approach.
phrased.
Yeah, it's a different approach.
Yeah. What
But
would you
then,
prefer he says then? So what does he say to you then
to be
that
fair, it
the way
doesn't
that you
say
can
what.
cope with it and take it?
Um, so like there is times where I'm gonna put myself in a bad light here, but here we go. There is times I can be a wee bit maybe short, where maybe the tone I'm using, I don't necessarily realize I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's saying something to me the way he would have said it would have been like don't like have attitude with me, and then I'd go like defensive.
Right.
Whereas now, if I've done it. We actually kind of have funny words now where we'll say something and we'll know each other's like saying, "Oi, stop it."
Mhm. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
but it would maybe approach it now where you're are you able to like I don't know how he would say it now because he doesn't really say it because we do the funny thing, but he would maybe say, "Are you okay?" Because you were a little bit short there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's just a slightly different approach to it rather than coming at me, which I feel is like an attack, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And defensive people always feel straight away, oh, it's my fault. What have I done? Oh my God.
yeah,
And then
and that. And that's where I go straight back to I'm not good enough.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, so, and then when it's the whole thing, you'll know through what you do with work, the more you're left and or cheated on, the more you just don't feel good enough. Because you start going, it must be me. I'm the common denominator.
Yeah, because you're looking to, we're always trying to make sense of the world. We're always trying to make things better. And so, yes, of course you would
Hmm.
believe that. And my work would say, well, actually, if that happens to you often enough and it becomes a belief, then it's going to happen again and it's going to happen again because you are in that's what you expect. And
Yeah,
whatever we believe and we expect happens.
yeah. And I think I'm just at the point now that I've almost had enough, see, of being made to feel that way, or even making myself feel that way as well.
Mm-hmm. So
Because I
how do
like I
you
like self-reflecting and like if I can change something, I will.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
And so how do you feel then? You've moved through the not good enough to enough. It sounds like it's an ongoing thing and it will be. I mean, like it's a life thing, things happen and
yeah,
and if you've got awareness of it, then you're meant to catch it and things.
yeah.
But what do you feel has been the things that have helped you move that dial closer to I am enough rather than I'm not good enough?
I think stepping away from what I now know is was not a good relationship to have been in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then walking away from friendships at the same time because they were part of the family group.
The splitting up, who goes to which
Uh,
person. Yeah,
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 and that was it's sad, but it had to happen. But now finding my group that is who I should be around,
yeah, yeah,
people who do make me feel positive and I mean,
yeah,
they'll have their down days, but you support them through it, but they support you through your days where you're maybe feeling a bit low.
yeah,
Just people that are more generally positive, have a better outlook on life, they've got a bit of ambition about them. Even to my new relationship, like, well, I say new, it's almost coming up for a year in a couple of months.
wow.
Well, May.
No, but wow, that's gone past fast, Amanda.
I know, I know. Um, but even that relationship has kind of brought me into feeling more confident. I won't even lie, my weight loss as well. That's helped. Just feeling like back to, I always say back to who I was, but I actually don't think I've ever been the confident version of myself that I could be. So I don't think I'm going back. I think it's a forward thing. It's a new
Abs-
version. The
Absolutely.
version I probably always wanted to be, but
Love.
never quite felt I could be. So
Tell me a little bit about that. That's a lovely statement. You never felt you could be. In
yeah,
what way? That you didn't think you could achieve that? Or what does that mean for you?
um, probably just being around bigger characters before, so I feel a bit more shut down. And then yeah, just thinking, oh, I've not got the confidence to be like that. I'm not good enough to be like that. Just all that. Like I would put so much pressure on myself, but now I'm like stepping away from that because it's so horrible. Um,
Really is.
but no, I wouldn't say I'm going back to a version of me. I'm probably a new version of me.
Yeah, becoming a new version,
Yeah,
or just not even a new version, just an evolved version of
yeah, yeah,
your best self, I would say, something like that. More
yeah.
than
Just it's that whole I'm no longer like willing to dim my light for other people.
thank you, Lord. Yeah, because and that's such a woman thing
Hmm.
where we dim our light for other people's comfort. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, and for like people with big egos and
yeah,
yeah, and I'm no longer willing to do that.
I'm loving that because it's only feeding their ego to say that they're worth having more time, taking more air, and it's just not fair because we're not giving ourselves the air to actually really become the people that we are. So I love that you're taking more space.
No, I even feel like I'm able to be a better mum now because I take my time away from the kids as well to recharge, do kind of things I want to do. But I also, when I am then with them, I'm present with them,
Yeah, yeah,
which is really important because you could be there all the time but not fully present.
for sure, for
And
sure.
that is fine to a point, but I like being able to be present with them and give them my attention, instead
Mhm.
of being like when you've got stresses in your relationship, you're maybe trying to give them attention, but you're actually maybe having a bit more of a shorter fuse with them, so you'll get annoyed quicker, so you'll be like, oh, just go to your room
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're dealing with stuff in your own head where you've got things going on and you're not present with them, so you're being there, but you're not being fully there.
And it's that feeling of the the happier you are, the happier everyone else is around you
Yeah, I
because
mean, I've had comments on it, like some of my I didn't walk away from all my friendship circles, but a couple that I'm still friends with that I was at uni with the guy. They've both commented on how much happier I look and how much more relaxed I am, and yeah, just how much more confident I seem and stuff. So something's worked.
I would like, if you don't mind, could I talk about your weight? Because weight is such, I mean, in the Manjaro times that we're in now, such a strange, I just think it's a strange thing to be fixated on. Do you know that? But yet we have been fixated on it for 100 years,
Yeah,
you know, or more. And
yeah. I mean,
it's
yeah, it's something I was like. I was always sort of the bigger one at school. I wasn't, when I look back now, I wasn't. When I look back at pictures, I'm like, why did I listen to people?
right.
But no, it's such a big deal. And I mean, I actually think men struggle with it just as much as women, to be honest. The more I've seen lately coming out, like actually, I think men maybe hide it more than women do, but they're actually
I,
really struggling with it.
I think you're right. And you know what I've seen in the therapy room is that, there seemed to be around about the 90s, noughties, there seemed to be a thing about body positivity for women where you could just be whatever size you wanted to be and you were encouraged to be to accept it and feel good about it.
Yeah,
And that was great. But then there became this thing about looking good that it seemed to go over to the guy's side.
hmm,
And instead of the men feeling positive about themselves as well, in the same way, it was
yeah,
sort of like guys suddenly had to become these buff,
yeah.
gorgeous creatures with the pecs and the this and the that. And don't get me wrong, like a pec, like a bicep, fine.
We all do.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't, if I
Yeah,
said I didn't, right? But there's so many more manorexia is on the increase, and there's so
yeah,
much stuff for guys now.
yeah. I don't think it's
We've
something that.
all joined the same pool now. Instead of everyone just going, you're fine, suddenly
Mhm.
now we're all stressed about.
Yeah, I don't think the male side of stuff is probably talked about enough. Like, I think because women are probably a bit more vocal about when they feel down about their weight and things. They'll talk to friends. Women are just a bit more open about all that.
Yeah, we talk
And I think
more.
men are getting there, but I don't think they're quite there where they'll just openly talk about those things.
No, and you know what? They go to the gym. They do that whole, uh, all my friends who's, you know, I've got obviously, as you know, I've got teenage daughters, but my mates with teenage sons, they're all like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to take the creatine. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to be, and it's like, oh my God, do you know what? It makes me sad to see that
Yeah, yeah.
because can't they just, it goes back to what we were saying at the start of the conversation. Why can't we just all be ourselves and be loved for who we
I know,
are?
I know.
Because,
But no,
you
my weight loss, I done some of it through Manjaro. So 3 stone of it was through the help of that. And that, in case there's people listening that think it's a fix, it's not. You have to still do the work. Like, you don't take it and it's a miracle thing. It just suppresses sort of the chatter that goes on in your head about wanting to eat all the time.
right,
It suppresses the appetite. So like,
right,
so what you'll hear is people calling it food noise for the chatter in the head. Um, Now I had a lot of food chatter. I mean, it's back now that I'm not on it, the food chatter, but I know how to control it now.
right.
So I used Manjaro as the tool to get me onto better habits. So when I come off that, I come off it having lost 3 stone, and then I went on to lose another stone on my own. Still
Is it
go
easy to
like,
come off, Amanda?
is it easy to come off? Like what,
Yeah.
the weight?
The Manjaro, no, the actual
Oh,
the
yeah,
actual drug. Is it? It's easy enough. You don't need to kind of wean yourself off it or anything.
you can do it in different ways. Some people, depending on how far up the doses they've went, they can wean themselves back down them. I only went up to 7.5 milligrams, so I just like when I was ready to come off, I just come off.
What's the maximum you can be on?
I think I want to say it's 15 on Manjaro, but that's the maintenance dose. Um, so yeah, I mean, I was absolutely fine. Obviously, just a disclaimer, if you're going on it, go to your GP and talk to them first. We'll just put that in here.
Yes.
Um, because it isn't for everyone, and if there are underlying conditions, then you need to chat about that. But I'll always, for me, it was a massive help. It's the only thing that's ever properly helped
Right.
get me into
That's
the better
interesting.
habits.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
mum has taken it as well. Can't remember what her total loss has been. I think it's over 2 stone, I know that, but I
Wow.
can't remember the actual figure. She's waiting on a hip and a knee operation.
So that's
So,
bound to help.
well, it's helped her just not feel as sore. She's still in a lot of pain, but she's not as sore. You know, just that little bit off is, and I say a little bit, it's still a lot, but like it won't have all come off that area. But it does help. I mean, if I was to go and put 4 stone back on me now, like in weights, I'd probably be like, wow.
Yeah. You then realize how heavy it is.
Yeah. So no, it was good for me, and that did help with my confidence and bringing me sort of to that version of me that I want to be now. Because my clothes fit better. In fact, I've had to buy new clothes because all my old clothes don't fit.
Hooray. How lovely. How
Lovely
lovely.
and annoying. We're never happy, are we?
No. So a girl, yeah,
I
yeah.
look in my wardrobe and go, nothing to wear. It's
I
just an excuse to go shopping.
just was going to say, what? This is a win-win. Just you know, you go and go to the shops. I've got to. You know what I mean? Just that. And like, do you feel that you're at? Because I have a belief that we all have a perfect size.
Hmm.
You know, plus or minus a couple of pounds. And
Yeah,
I think eventually we always kind of settle. Doesn't matter what we do, but we settle at
yeah,
a perfectish size.
yeah.
Are you at the size that you feel the happiest at, or do you feel there's more to go? I mean, do you know what I mean? Are you
Yeah,
you look so confident in all your posts and stuff? You look phenomenal.
thank you.
You're beautiful. You know,
I would probably like another 2 stone off. I'd probably settle at 1 stone off, like
right,
another stone. Um,
okay.
but I always said once I got to the 4 stone, I'd kind of see as each half stone went along how I felt, and I would stop at a certain point. But like at Christmas, like on the run up to Christmas, I deliberately tried to work a bit harder to get a bit more off. so that I had that to play with over Christmas.
Yeah.
So like over
I'm still
Christmas,
eating like it's Christmas. I am still eating like it's Christmas, and I'm
over
aware of it.
over Christmas, I put £4 on, but I'm back to now just £1 on. So that's
Yeah.
just me getting back into the good habits quickly after Christmas. But I have eaten my entire stocking pretty much. So
Yeah, I literally asked for gluten-free mince pies. Everywhere I went, I was like, "Can you make sure you've got?" Honestly, when I got back home to London, I think there were about 20 gluten-free mince pies. Who was eating these apart from me? Nobody. They came back up to Edinburgh with me.
hmm
Still some in the cupboard, but
yeah. So now I've been trying to clean eat again because on Saturday I've got a boudoir shoot that I'm going to do.
oh my gosh.
Part of the whole feeling good enough thing.
Tell me more about that because I
Oh,
was my next question was going to be how much is your feeling enough linked to your weight or your weight loss? How much of it?
um, probably quite a bit to be fair.
Hmm.
Because it was something I was bullied with at school, like told I was too fat, and at one point I had thought about stopping eating, and to be honest, I had thought about making myself sick as well.
Hmm.
So you can see how quickly little comments can
The
make
road.
someone end up having an eating disorder. I didn't, thankfully. Probably just because I like food too much.
Food wins because that thing about the erosion and we're talking about the power of words and stuff here and it's so true
Mhm.
and you could have been taken down by the acid and the weapon or the
Yeah,
weaponization of those words that you heard all the time at
yeah,
school.
absolutely.
You didn't. Thank God for.
Then and then the being like cheated on, that makes you think, is it because I'm too fat? Like, is it because I'm
Yeah.
not good looking? And that's all linked to the not feeling good enough. So yeah, so my weight is probably quite highly connected to it. But no, I'm looking forward to my boudoir shoot. I have had one before. I had one when I was at my heaviest
Right.
because I wanted to see myself, if like to see it myself in a different light, see if I thought I looked sexy. And yeah, I think I
Yeah.
did. The photos that I had,
Yeah, that kind of, yeah. Did
yeah,
you really? Or because did you
I
think about
did.
it?
There was some photos I was like, yeah, look amazing, and then there was other ones I'm like, nah, don't like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But we are our own worst, like,
Critic.
yeah. But this one I'm really looking forward to because like I've got that sort of confidence and buzz about it, and I love stuff like that. And you actually, I think you maybe know her. It's Rachel that was at the International Women's Day.
Yeah, Rachel Shoot Sweet. She's, oh my gosh, I was going to ask. That will be so
Yeah.
good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And this is a thing that I think, no matter what size, you could be size 6, right? You could do that boudoir shoot, and there will be a shot you don't like
Oh, of
because
course.
of that inner critic. That inner bitch is always going to go, oh, yeah, that was a bit not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always going to be something.
Yeah, well, there's like probably lots of bits I still maybe think in my body. I'm like, oh, I'd fix that. But like, I'm signed up to start the gym and I'll get those parts fixed over time. They might not fully fix, but that's fine as well because I've had kids and my body's different now. And I need to remember that, like, it's not going to go back to how it was, you know. So,
No, but it's going to react and respond to touch,
mm,
and it's going to look amazing if you dress it the way it likes to be dressed. It's going to feel the same way to you. You know what I mean? And this is something
yeah,
I say to my clients when I want them to feel irresistible and re I want them to just remember how sexy they can be. Is that, you know, like I said in my talk, my nipples aren't in the same place as they used to be. They're not like that. But they're still my nipples and they still feel great. And I love my boobs Thank you, the end. And they are not the boobs that they were when they were 24.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. What matters is what you're bringing to the whole thing. And like you say, how much acceptance and love you have for your
Yeah.
body. And
Yeah, and I think
furthermore,
it's just remembering how hard you've worked as well. Like,
yeah, and celebrating
yeah,
everything that you are.
what your
And
body's been through, like having kids, you know, that's a lot
well,
for your body. And I carried twins.
you carried twins. I had a section. Did you have a
I had a section as
you had a
well.
section? So
Yeah.
thanks for that little apron going on there. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
You know, every time I look at my scar, I'm
hmm
like, that's where my baby came out of.
Well, I'm happy now I can see my scar.
Oh,
I
right.
never used to be able to because
Well,
of
you know what? And scar, love, I do love that. I know I always say I love that, but it's true. I really do because it's so important that we understand the importance of things. We're still alive. We're still looking good. You put on stuff. I see your Instagram posts, and it's just you go like, and you look phenomenal. And I don't know if it's a West Indian cultural thing. Well, it is. Black people, if you're too skinny, mm-mm, you
Yeah, I've never wanted to
gotta
be
be
skinny. I always wanted,
teeny.
yeah, curvy. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 And
But I used to joke, even when I've been at my biggest, I used to go, nah, my bum's what all the celebrities pay for.
they do though, and that's the thing. And I was saying to my husband, just saying to Stuart just like a couple of weeks ago, all these people who go through all this surgery want to look like black women. White women want to look like black women. They want the bigger lips. They want the
Yeah,
curve. They want the butt. And it's like, sorry, just be happy with what you've got. And your butt, damn no. You know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Beautiful.
So, no, I've always said that's the one thing I've always like jokingly said about myself.
It's real. It's a truth though. And
Yeah.
I know that Rachel's going to make you look phenomenal, and I know you're gonna have such a good
Yeah,
experience.
my best friend's getting to come along to it, so she's going to do some video and off like behind the scenes, but nothing like too raunchy to put out there. But we're going to put a bit out on social media, especially because me and her are starting up a girly podcast. Um,
Oh,
so we're going to sort of put those bits out because it's stuff we're going to do together, and like she wants to come along and see what it's like
that's
and
going to
that.
be so much fun. Congratulations on that as well. So many things are
Yeah.
just blossoming, starting
Yeah,
to
it's going to be good fun. The other thing I was going to say, the big difference is, I think my partner, if anyone was to ask him, they would, he'd probably say, yeah, she's started to take a compliment a little bit better. Because usually I would go, shut up.
yeah. So difficult for women. Oh, this old thing, beautiful dress, this old thing. Oh, got that in the sale. Oh,
Like he'll say like, oh, like he'll call me beautiful or whatever, and I'll be like, I used to go, shut up, like because I didn't believe it, but now I've like kind of learned to go, thank you, but I still do it without apologetic, thank you, because
next
he's
time you
like,
have to just go, thanks.
or just go, I know, then he'll be totally shocked.
Someone said to me recently, oh, you've got really good legs. And I was like, yeah, thanks, I know.
I know that's still stuff I'm working on myself because I don't think anyone's ever fully finished working on themselves.
No.
You can learn and evolve, you know.
And you can accept though. And
Yeah,
if it's something that's troubling you, then okay, work on it. But actually, sometimes just enjoying the moment
yeah,
and celebrating the moment. I mean, I remember like back in the day. So all these people with their washboard stomachs and their really, really tight abs. Girl, I've never seen an ab, never seen what? No, it's not that. So I remember thinking to myself, you know what? I'm gonna have to do something about this belly. So I got my belly button pierced. I just thought, stop hating on this belly. It's always going to stick out. It just is. And just because of the way the black, black lady spine bends in a little bit, so it always sort of protrudes a little bit. But also, food. And I just thought, I'm going to just celebrate it a bit. And
Yeah.
just, and I was really proud of myself for that. And I loved having my belly button pierced. And it's just, yeah, I just thought it's time to honor and not go, oh, that's the worst bit of my body, or do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
the only person that's suffering from that is you or was me, you know.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
thought, no, I'm gonna jewel it up and make it look beautiful. And it's a kind of, I suppose it's like a mini version of a boudoir thing, just for me, like, oh, look at me and me.
Yeah.
But I think a boudoir shot, a boudoir shoot would be so lovely. I'd really like to hear how you get on with it.
Yeah, well, some of the probably not too like because they're not like raunchy, but like some of the ones that are more modelly, like I'll probably put on Instagram. You'll
Mm.
probably see some of them.
Are you
Uh,
giving us some corset action, or
I've not
do
got a
you decide
corset.
what you want to wear before you go in, so that Rachel's got a
Yeah. So we had a couple of calls. We had one last year when I booked it, but we had one just the other day just to go over has anything changed. And so my thing on it is I want to be sort of that classic sexy vibe. So like the oversized men's t-shirt, that type thing. Not t-shirt, shirt, sorry.
Mm.
But actually I do like an oversized t-shirt too. Um,
Yes.
but so this won't I'll have had my shoot by then. This won't go out. So one of the other things I'm doing is getting a picture done in my Hearts shot, my Hearts t-shirt, for my partner because he's a Hearts fan. So
How sweet. I was going to say, how much of this will have your partner in the back of it? So, how much of this is going to be you wanting to look sexy for yourself versus how much you want to look sexy for him to go, oh my God, you're fucking sexy?
so the Hearts one is one that I want to do for him. But the rest of it, to be honest, he would look at if I'm thinking from his brain, he'd look at all of them, no matter what I wanted to do, and think I'm gorgeous.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't need to do anything for him because he'll love it anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna like he's gonna love seeing them.
For sure.
But he'll just be happy that I'm happy. So yeah, it's kind of that. So it's uh like I said, the oversized shirt, I've got like a lacy gown that I'm gonna have on and stuff like that. So just very subtle, but there's a little bit of fun stuff in there too.
I am looking forward to seeing some of these pictures on Instagram. It sounds
Well, of course you would, because you're all about making people feel irresistible.
I
So,
am all about people finding their irresistibility, and I really do need to get Rachel to do me as well because I do feel there's something about that, particularly for women of a certain age, where they just don't believe they're sexy anymore. And I'm
yeah,
here to tell them that they can be if they want. They don't have to be, but if they
yeah,
do want to be, they've got to remember
yeah.
how to
I
really.
mean, yeah, and I'm getting my hair and makeup done and everything at it. So it's amazing. Like, you are just going to feel so amazing.
Stunning. I'm excited. I want to go now too.
I,
Honestly, I'm.
I know, I really can't wait for it. It'll be good. And I think it's a good round off to the time that I've had recently and like yes, I'm still working on stuff, but I think it's a good wee boost to myself.
And to celebrate and to kind of close off this bit before we move on to the final part of the podcast, that thing that you were saying about the start about getting bullied at school and just feeling that you had to be better and all that, to be able to get to that lovely moment where your partner loves you no matter what you do, how you look, that unconditional,
Yeah.
move from that place of be better, conditional love to unconditional love,
Yeah,
which I
which
just think is so
yeah.
beautiful for you.
Yeah. It really is because I actually said this not that long ago to him. I said, because I almost had moments of self-sabotage where I was feeling like, oh, is this right?
Yeah.
And I think it's because I'm not used to being treated right.
You know what I call that as the fear? I call it the fear. And
Yeah.
I
It's
had it
almost
with
like
my
you're
husband.
looking for something that's wrong.
Yeah.
But
Or
yeah,
you feel like it's too good to be true. So you
and
get
you
the
have
fear.
got that guard up, and then it's just trying to let that guard down to let the other person in and
Yeah.
not bring all the other relationship baggage with it.
Do you know what my husband said? That I thought I just was like, because I had at that time, I hadn't trained and I was working through all the trauma from my life and all that stuff. Met him and I was like, oh God, he's really nice. Oh shit. Oh no. Or, and all that stuff. It's going to go wrong. Oh, it's all that. And, I remember one night getting really drunk, coming back to the pub, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, it's going to break up and I'm going to sabotage. And I said to him, I think I'm going to break this up because I'm not used to
Yeah,
this being healthy and good and you liking me and me liking you and what's that about? And
yeah.
he just sat and he just looked at me and he just went, you just need to trust in us.
Hmm.
And it was that almost that really helped me understand that we were creating something that was bigger than him and me. It was
Yeah.
us. And that us could be okay. And and immediately my shoulders just went down. And that's why I think in my couples work, I'm always saying to people, it's not about you and them, it's about what you've built, the thing in the middle, which is the thing that Stuart was talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like
Yeah.
you have built as well. And it's almost like we have to lean back on that
Hmm.
rather than going, oh, is it me? Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And now we just need to see what 2026 brings.
Can't wait for that, girl. Cannot wait. Honestly, it's going to be amazing. And before we close up, I just want to ask you, so you're very young, but I go to my Roger Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon bit where he is 50 and Mel Gibson's this young guy on the block just shooting people up. And he's like wanting to retire. And he's like, I'm too old for this shit. And he's really done. And I always ask my guests, what are you too old for this shit for? What are you done with that you're not going to take into 2026, Amanda?
Um, a few things, but let's see. Just childish behaviors, like people dealing with people that are childish. I cannot be done with it. I am literally too old for that. I feel like I'm at school. Like, like when people are bitching about each other and oh, no, that's just no. Say it to their face, have a conversation, be a grown up, don't be a child.
That stop the drama.
Yeah. I've actually said that for years now that I'm too old for that.
I think that, do you know what? Yes, I agree. I agree with all of that. Take responsibility for your feelings
Yeah,
and deal with them instead of
yeah.
bitching about people. It's such a just drains you, doesn't it? It just drains your
And
energy.
a lot of the time you can have a conversation with the person you maybe have a problem with, and once you've had a conversation, it's fine. Like you don't have to have that like background school like no 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 he said she said. Oh.
Oh, so very tiring, so very
Yes.
wearing, pointless in having it. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I love that too. I'm sorry, that's all I say in these podcasts. I love that because seriously, everyone is so wise and everyone has got so much to tell and that they've learned from that they can share with the people listening. And I really thank you for your time on this
No problem. Thank you for
and
having me.
telling us everything that you've gone through because I know it will resonate with a lot of people. And
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to see you with your stockings on, Queen. That's all I'm living for that. Living for
Well,
that.
that reminds me, I need to get stockings.
Well, the tweet to Amanda Gillespie, 2026 pin-up model. Um, thank you for being with me today, and I really appreciate your time. And thank you, anybody who's taken the time to listen. I hope this has really given you something to think about. And what would your word for 2026 be? Thanks.